Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video there's quite a few things to negotiate about. I am going to be giving you some more additional information on Dean Henderson. I've been talking with you about Dean Henderson, haven't I, on a regular basis. Then I'm going to be talking with you a bit more about Paul Pogba. And also too then I'm going to be talking with you a bit more about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Of course, you saw my video that I did recently. It's still uploading, by the way. I did it this morning. Of course, I give you the news regarding Jadon Sancho. There's still a chance that Manchester United could sign him, because his head is already with Manchester United, like Borussia Dortmund have already confirmed. I give you the news on Ansu Fati Vieira from Barcelona. Him to Manchester United now, I'm going to fully disregard it because he's got no intentions of leaving Barcelona. I also, earlier on today, give you the latest news on Richie Arledson from Everton. He revealed that, he received offers from Manchester United and Barcelona this season, but he gave the main explanation why I'd turned down a move to Manchester United and Barcelona. And also, too, on my recent video, I give you the latest news regarding Alexis Sanchez. Of course, Inter Milan have been in talks with Man United over extending Alexis Sanchez's loan for another season. So anyway, that's what I said on my recent video. Now, let's get into the news anyway on Dean Henderson. So, these stories are coming from The Sun. They have said that Chelsea are interested in Dean Henderson, and reportedly they are planning to put a huge bid in for him. Reportedly they're willing to offer around £50 million for Dean Henderson. Chelsea do want to make Dean Henderson their number one goalkeeper for next season. They actually are seeing him as a replacement for Kepa Arrizabalaga, basically. And like I said, in regards to Chelsea, they've done very, very good business so far, and the summer transfer window isn't even open. Obviously, they got Hakim Ziyech in February from Ajax for around, was it 37 or 38 million pounds. It recently got confirmed that they'd signed Timo Werner from RB Leipzig. I think Chelsea got him for around 48 million pounds. They're obviously trying to get Kai Havertz from Bayer Leverkusen. They're also trying to get Ben Chilwell. I think he's actually Chelsea's number one priority target. I think Chelsea could be up there next season. I really, really do. But when they signed Werner, that was their second signing this summer and their second signing under Frank Lampard. But I don't think, we're going to let Dean Henderson go to Chelsea because, we've already said that we're not willing to let him go on a permanent transfer. Because obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say not too long ago that he thinks that Dean Henderson will be England's number one goalkeeper and Manchester United's number one goalkeeper in the future. And I think, Dean Henderson could be our number one goalkeeper for next season. Now, as you all know, at the moment, Dean Henderson is out on loan with Sheffield United. This has been his second season on loan with Sheffield United. But I have got to make an admission, Dean Henderson has been a revelation for Sheffield United, and he has been their player of the season. I think Dean Henderson's still got a contract with us until 2022. He's also had quite a few loan spells as well with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. Didn't he also used to play for Carlisle as well? But we won't get rid of Dean Henderson permanently because, we do see him as a long-term replacement for David De Gea. Now, like I said, Solskjaer has got a decision to make regarding David De Gea. Now, as you all know, Roy Keane criticised David De Gea on Sky Sports at half-time in the Tottenham-Manchester United game. Roy Keane was saying, he's sick to death of David De Gea. He's sick to death as David De Gea, and he said, David De Gea is overrated. He also criticised Harry Maguire as well, and I think he also, criticised Luke Shaw because, they were accountable for Steven Bergwijn's goal. But, at least in the last couple of years, David De Gea, has made quite a lot of mistakes, and, he hasn't been a liability in that. Solskjaer responded to the criticism from Roy Keane, and, he's actually, defended David De Gea. Now, overall, David De Gea is still regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the world, reflecting on what he's achieved at Manchester United because, like I mentioned before, he's won everything here in terms of silverware. He's won, obviously, the club's player of the year quite a few times as well, reflecting on his good run of performances. And David De Gea, this has been his 9th season at Manchester United. He's approached his 10th year at the football club, and he has been here since the Alex Ferguson era, because we did pay £17 million for him from Atletico Madrid. I did say on my video yesterday that David De Gea's transfer is inevitable, but I don't think it will happen in the summer transfer window. Maybe we could get rid of David De Gea next year. If we do sell him, I think, we can get, quite a lot. We can get a lot more, than the £17 million that we paid for him from Atletico Madrid. Maybe we could get maybe like 50 or £60 million for David De Gea. But I did say, when he leaves Manchester United, he will go back to Spain, because he began his footballing career in Spain. Real Madrid were relentless links with him for several years. Don't forget, back in 2015, Real Madrid were very, very close to getting David De Gea on deadline day. But due to a fax machine, the deal never materialised. So De Gea ended up staying at Manchester United. David De Gea has nearly made now 400 appearances for us in all competitions. Last year, he signed a new long-term contract worth $375,000 a week. David De Gea is the highest paid goalkeeper in the world, and he is the highest paid at the football club. But we do know for the remainder of this season that David De Gea is going to be our number one goalkeeper, because Dean Henson's going to stay on loan with Sheffield United for the remainder of this season. Of course, we have got Sergio Romero as well, but obviously, he's not reliable, to become our number one goalkeeper. He tends to play in the cup games, just Sergio Romero. Lee Grant, he's hardly played since he came in. Joe Pereira, and that is out on loan. But I don't see us, revert back to what I said regarding Dean Henderson, I don't see us letting him go to Chelsea. But £50 million is a substantial amount, that is a substantial amount, it really, really is. But it's very, very rare that us and Chelsea, do business. Of course, we did business with them in 2017. We got Nemanja Matic for around £40 million. So there you go. Now, let's delve into the news on Paul Pogba. So, do you think Paul Pogba can make Manchester United a force again? And, to be quite honest with you, I think Paul Pogba can. Paul Pogba, was very, very impressive on Friday night when he came on against Tottenham. Came off the bench and made a fantastic impact. Paul Pogba was the one that got, us that penalty. Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes, saved us in that game against Tottenham. That was Paul Pogba's first appearance for the football club since the 4-1 win against Newcastle on Boxing Day, and it was his first appearance in 176 days. You've got to question Solskjaer, why he didn't start Paul Pogba, because he really should have started Paul Pogba, because there was no excuse not to start him, because, Paul Pogba was fully fit. But at least, we got a glimpse of Paul Pogba playing alongside Bruno Fernandes in our midfield. They played together for the remainder of I think they played together for the last half an hour, something like that. I think that partnership between Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes is definitely, going to work out, and I think it is the best midfield partnership in the Premier League. And I did say to you, didn't I, Bruno Fernandes is key to Paul Pogba's future. Because I said, if the midfield partnership works out, Paul Pogba will end up committing his long-term future in Man United, and he will end up signing a new long-term contract. I heard recently, that Pogba, is going to extend his contract at Man United. As it stands at the moment, he's got a year left in his contract. The club do have an option to extend it for a further year. We'll probably trigger that 1-year extension on his contract anyway. But more or less now, Paul Pogba's future is being resolved. He's going to stay with us for the remainder of this season. I also believe he's going to be with us next season as well. Paul Pogba is our most expensive signing at the moment. We did pay £89 million for him. Not only that, he's one of the highest paid players at the football club as well. He's on just under $300,000 a week on his current contract. But don't forget, Paul Pogba's had a long-running transfer saga. There has been narratives of Paul Pogba, going to Real Madrid. Real Madrid have been in for him since the turn of the year. Don't forget, Real Madrid were in for Paul Pogba last summer. Because don't forget, Paul Pogba did say last summer that he wanted to leave Manchester United because he was seeking for a new challenge. And he even publicly admitted that he wanted to leave Manchester United. But last summer, we priced him out of the market because we said last summer we wanted 180 million for Pogba. But Pogba was talking a lot about Real Madrid last year, about, you know, his dreams of playing under Zinedine Zidane and all of that. You know, obviously, you know, there has been narratives of Paul Pogba, you know, going back to Juventus. You know, I said, you know, if Paul Pogba would have left Manchester United, you know, he would have gone back to Juventus because he did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus, did Paul Pogba. But the vast majority of his performances at Man United since he rejoined have been totally comparison to his ones in Turin. PSG a couple of weeks ago were in for him. Barcelona have also been in for him in the past as well. But I think Paul Pogba will finish the season on the high, so that is very, very good news. Of course, you know, Paul Pogba so far has won 2 trophies at the football club, and that was the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season at Manchester United. Of course, obviously, you know, he wants to win more trophies at the club. You know, obviously, you know, he wants to win the Premier League with Manchester United. He obviously, you know, wants to win the Champions League and that with Manchester United as well. But so far, he hasn't experienced any of that. You know, Paul Pogba, you know, enjoyed a very, very difficult time under the Jose Mourinho era. But, you know, Jose Mourinho's got a bad reputation with the top players anyway. In reality, you can say we made a mistake by getting rid of Paul Pogba when he was a lot younger. Because don't forget, we did have Paul Pogba under the Alex Ferguson era, but we had to let him go due to limited appearances. You know, we let him go to Juventus on a 3 transfer and all of that. Paul Pogba has received a lot of criticism as a Manchester United player, especially throughout the course of this season. I think Paul Pogba's biggest critics throughout the course of this season have been, you know, Roy Keane and Graham Souness and all of that. And reflecting on that, some people actually, you know, advise Paul Pogba to leave the football club. But we said, you know, if we was to sell Paul Pogba, you know, we'd want around 140, 150 million pounds and that, because I said if we did sell him, it would be very imperative that we get more than the 89 million pounds that we did pay for him. You know, that we did pay for him and that. You know, Mini Raiola, his agent, I've been very, very critical of him as well since the turn of the year. Mini Raiola, because, you know, he's been in the process of trying to get his client a transfer away from Man United completed, at least in the last couple of years. You know, Mini Raiola, we believed he's the only one that wants to leave Pogba. I think Ed Woodward also had negotiations with Mini Raiola as well, but Mini Raiola's he's spoken to Juventus before, and he's also spoken to Real Madrid and all of that. But I think now Paul Pogba wants to stay at the football club because he is aware of the impact that Bruno Fernandes has made. You know, Bruno Fernandes has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. He has now got 4 goals and 4 assists for the club. The signing of Bruno Fernandes has definitely saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United. I think is it in every game or nearly every Premier League match Bruno Fernandes has been given man of the match. Don't forget he won Premier League Player of the Month for February, reflecting on his good run of performances. We did get Bruno Fernandes in a deal worth £65 million with add-ons included. And I think Bruno Fernandes did sign a 5.5-year deal at the football club. But definitely the best player, or one of the best players we've recruited in since the Alex Ferguson era. But definitely has made the difference in the team as Bruno Fernandes. So yes, I think Paul Pogba can make Manchester United a force again. Don't forget his Rolls Royce car was seized by police not too long ago for allegedly having a French number plate, you know. So it's good that Paul Pogba's future has more or less now been resolved. Now, let's talk with you a bit about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come out and said, you know, Manchester United are close to winning trophies. And he also believes that Manchester United are close to challenging for the Premier League title. Now, obviously, you know, we've got a great opportunity of winning 2 trophies this season under Solskjaer, and that is the FA Cup. You know, we're into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. We've got Norwich, so in reality, we should be progressing to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. And of course, the Europa League, you know, we're more or less into the last 8 of that because, you know, we are 5-0 up against Lask from the first leg. And like I said, so, you know, if we could win both of them, and if we could also get the top 4, that would be a fantastic achievement for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United. You know, it really, really would be a fantastic achievement. Yeah, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, definitely the top four is a priority for us because obviously, we do want qualification for the Champions League for next season. And plus, it'll help us have more of a competitive summer transfer window and we will attract players to the elite level. And plus, if we do get Champions League qualification, we'll generate money. But it all depends on Manchester City's 2-year European ban. If that does get upheld, then fifth place is a Champions League spot. So let's just put that into the equation. Like I said, in regards to being title challengers, I think our expectations next season will be to challenge for the title. It all depends, who we bring in the summer transfer window. Solskjaer did say he's looking to make around 3 major signings or 4 major signings at the end of the season. I think Solskjaer still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young British talents to Manchester United like he did do last summer. Because obviously, 3 of the 5 players he's recommended in so far, of course, have been British. And Solskjaer, of course, has identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up. Because there's still areas in the squad where Manchester United are lacking and all of that. And there were stories coming out the other week saying that our transfer budget for the summer transfer window has been revealed. He said reportedly, Solskjaer's going to get around 269 or 270 million to spend in the summer transfer window. But if that is the case, that should be enough for us, to get, the number of players that we do want in and all of that. But I did say to you, didn't I, Solskjaer's got big decisions to make at Manchester United. Like I said, he's got a goalkeeper decision to make. We're also facing a bit of a dilemma at left back. I do believe Luke Shaw's going to remain our first choice left back for the remainder of this season, but maybe next season, Brandon Williams could be our first choice left back. Like I said, he's got a decision to make on our midfield. We've got to hope Solskjaer knows his first choice midfield trio. My first choice midfield trio is Bruno Fernandes, Pogba and McTominay. United fans have got different verdicts on it. He's got to probably make a decision as well on Anthony Martial. That's another one he's got to make a decision on because there's some United fans saying that, he needs to be dropped now and he needs to stop being an automatic starter because, Martial has been starting a lot of games and that. Should we play Greenwood ahead of Daniel James? That's also a debate as well. So their decision Solskjaer's got to make, like I mentioned yesterday, but the decisions he's got to make in the summer transfer window, of obviously, what players he's going to get rid of and, of course, what players he's going to recommend into the club. I don't think we're going to make 4 signings in the summer transfer window. Maybe we could make 1, maybe we could make 2. I think in the summer transfer window, we are going to get rid of at least 5 players. We could even get rid of more than 5 players, to be quite honest with you. I think I've got an idea of what players we're going to get rid of in the summer transfer window. I think we're going to get rid of Phil Jones, because he doesn't even get in the team now, Phil Jones. We'll be looking to get rid of Chris Smalling and Marcus Rojo on permanent transfers. Also, going to be looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard and Andres Pereira, because they're very, very inconsistent as well. Like I said, we've got to make a decision on Angel Gomez as well, because Angel Gomez is stalling on a new contract at Manchester United. Don't forget, Solskjaer did say on his press conference prior to the game against Tottenham, he said that Angel Gomez is a very, very top kid. And, he's obviously, said he's been at Man United for several years. And he did say, that Angel Gomez is close to signing a new contract at the football club. This is what Solskjaer said. But as far as I'm aware at the moment, no agreement has yet been reached. I think the recent contract offer we've made is around £30,000 a week. But, we have put forward quite a few contract offers for Angel Gomez, but he has turned these down. But Angel Gomez, has actually, found game time very, very difficult at Manchester United. He's only made 10 appearances since he broke into the senior squad, and 6 of those appearances have come this season. And obviously, as well, Chelsea are monitoring Angel Gomez, but he is only at the age of 19. But he's not the only young'un that's found game time hard. You've had Tahith Chong. He's found game time very, very hard. You've had James Garner. He's also found game time very, very hard as well. But to be fair to Solskjaer, he has got rid of a lot of the deadwood, since he got recommended into Manchester United. I think we have seen a total of 19 players leave the football club since Solskjaer, got recommended in. But, I have taken positives from his tenure so far. There's also some negatives as well. I think Solskjaer's now been in the football club over a year and a half now, and I think he's been permanent Manchester United manager for around 16 months, is it? I did say to you, didn't I? Solskjaer does deserve at least another season at Manchester United because, it is a transition period and it has been a transition period for quite some time. Now, like I said to you, I've seen improvements under him. There's definitely, players that have improved, especially, the top players. Solskjaer did say, though, when he got appointed in as Manchester United manager, he said that everybody, would get their chances to express themselves. We've definitely improved in the transfer market under Solskjaer as well. So, definitely, seen improvements under him. Don't forget, we are unbeaten in our last 12 games in all competitions. That is our best vein of form, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager and all of that. I think also too Solskjaer has promoted the youth very, very well. So that's also positive news as well. But the summer transfer window will be Solskjaer's fourth transfer window as Manchester United manager. Solskjaer knows that he's got the backing of Ed Woodward. He knows that he's also got the backing of the Glazers as well. But United fans have got different perceptions on Solskjaer. Some United fans think he's the foreseeable future for the club, and some United fans think, we need a manager in at the top level, such as Jurgen Klopp or, Pep Guardiola and all of that. But, he does deserve more time at Manchester United. And like I mentioned earlier on in the season, and a lot of Manchester United fans earlier on in the season were very, very critical of Solskjaer. There was obviously explanations why I was critical of Solskjaer and that, and, he deserves to be criticised. But, we haven't only been critical of him for the vast majority of this season. Like I said, we've been critical of Ed Woodward and the Glazers. Not only this season, for several years, we've been critical of Ed Woodward and the Glazers. The main explanation why we've been critical of Ed Woodward is reflecting on how poor our recruitment policy's been, with us overpaying for our players. And just overall, the decisions Ed Woodward's made, Manchester United have not obviously, agreed with. So this is, why we have been very, very critical of him. And Woodward's been with us since 2012. The Glazers have been, at Manchester United since, 2005. So they've been with us now a good 15 years. I was also, critical of a lot of players earlier on in the season. I really wasn't that. But I've sort of changed my perception on Solskjaer, of this 12-game unbeaten run. I'm still not sure, though, if he is the foreseeable future for Manchester United and all of that. But these still things that he does need to work on at the football club. Because in the game against Tottenham on Friday, you saw my match reaction. I said, didn't I, Manchester United, dominated the vast majority of the game. I thought, it was better in the second half. We should have won it, really, because Rashford had two great chances. Martial had a couple of opportunities. Bruno Fernandes had chances as well, but he did score from the penalty, which was good. But, Solskjaer in that game against Tottenham tactically got some things right, and he tactically, got some stuff wrong. Obviously, Paul Pogba should have started. That's one thing, he did get wrong. And all of that. But I just said, we was too open on the counter-attack, when Tottenham, went forward. Because I did say, didn't I, prior to the game against Tottenham, Tottenham's game plan were to play defensive, but then look to hit us on the counter-attack. And, that's exactly, what they did. So, there you go and all of that. And like I said, we have been playing catch-up for the last 7 years. We have been playing catch-up. And we haven't dominated English football since the Alex Ferguson era. Of course, Alex Ferguson endured 26 years at Manchester United. Won a total of 38 major honours. Developed a lot of young players as well. But Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because, put into the equation, Alex Ferguson did not win out in his first 4 years at Manchester United. Don't get me wrong, no one will replicate Ferguson's legacy. No one will last as long as Alex Ferguson did, and that's something, Manchester United have got to accept. But since Ferguson's retirement, we really, really have been playing catch up. In the last 7 years, we've had different managers with different philosophies. Solskjaer's our fourth manager since the Ferguson era, fourth permanent manager, because we've sacked 3 managers since the Ferguson era, and that was Moyes, Van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. And we spent close to the £1 billion range on players. We've recruited over 30 odd players in since the Alex Ferguson era. I think we've made quite a lot of mistakes in the last 7 years, and that's one of the main explanations as well why we've been inconsistent. There's players who we've brought in recent years, who we shouldn't have brought in. There's also players on the other hand who we've brought in, who we shouldn't have got rid of, but we did get rid of them. A prime example under Herrera and Romelu Lukaku, really shouldn't have got rid of them. You can say maybe we made a mistake by giving Solskjaer the job permanently. Maybe we did give him it a bit too soon. Of course, Ferguson made one mistake, and that was ever, appointing David Moyes into the job. So, Manchester United have made mistakes. We really, really have. But in reality, reflecting on the money we've spent, we should be in Liverpool's position. We should be in Liverpool's position, but obviously, we are not. But we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. The last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. So this has been now the seventh season, that we've failed to mount any kind of title challenge up. Also, as well, you saw my recent video, I forgot to mention earlier on, how Manchester United, could line up against Sheffield United on Wednesday. I think also too, who is Solskjaer going to drop for the game on Wednesday against Sheffield United. I presume he's going to make changes, from the 1-1 draw with Tottenham on Friday. Probably will make around 3 or 4 changes. I've already told you the players I've dropped for the Sheffield United game. I've probably dropped Lindelof, put Bay there alongside Maguire. Because Lindelof was very, very poor in the game against Tottenham. Got caught out far too many times on the counter-attack. He's still a very, very good centre-half, is Lindelof, but, I would drop him. I'll put Bay there ahead of him. Probably drop Fred for the game against Sheffield United, and obviously, start Paul Pogba. I probably would drop Daniel James against Sheffield United, and I'd put Greenwood on the right instead. Some people say drop Anthony Martial, put Odion Ighalo there, put Odion Ighalo in that central position, then, put Rashford out wide and that. So, he will make changes. I think the only injuries we've got is Alex Tuanzebe and Phil Jones. It's going to be a very, very difficult game against Sheffield United because, like I said, Sheffield United have enjoyed an exceptional season. Chris Wilder's done a very, very good job. This has been now Chris Wilder's 4th season with Sheffield United. He's progressed Sheffield United all the way from League One to, 6 or something like that in the Premier League. Sheffield United are currently playing Newcastle United at the moment. But no one expected Sheffield United to be in the position, that they're in. We've got to win on Wednesday against Sheffield United to keep our top 4 hopes alive. There's quite a few teams now in that top 4 race. But it'd be interesting to see how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer approaches that game against Sheffield United. Be interesting to see what formation he goes with. Solskjaer has been changing formation persistently this season. He's been going with the 4-2-3-1 a lot. A few times he's gone with a 3-4-1-2. A few times he's gone with a 4-3-3. I think in the games against the likes of Chelsea and City, he went with a 5-3-2 formation, did Solskjaer and that. So it's good, that he's tried, a few different elements at Manchester United. The reverse fixture against Sheffield United was 3-3 earlier on in the season. I think that's actually, when Brandon Williams scored his first professional goal for Man United and all of that. We was 2-0 down, at Bramall Lane. We showed good determination to come back, but, we conceded late on. We really, really did. This is Sheffield United's first season, by the way, in the Premier League and all of that. But yeah, hopefully, he can get it right against Sheffield United. We've got 8 games remaining. And like I said to we've got the easiest running out of all the Premier League teams. So, in reality, we should win at least 6 of our 8 remaining games. I think, you know, probably 6 wins out of 8 would be enough for us, you know, to finish. Would be enough for us, you know, to finish in that top 4 and that. But even if we didn't get qualification for the Champions League, I still think Solskjaer will be Manchester United manager next season. You know, I do definitely believe that. So, yeah. There's still some contracts to sort out as well. I think we've got around 8 or 9 players' contracts that are due to expire next year. Of course, we've obviously extended a lot of players' contracts, you know, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, came in. You know, so there you go. And like I said, you know, Man United, most successful team in England. Obviously, you know, won 20 titles, 13 of them Premier Leagues, you know. But I want us, obviously, you know, to win the Premier League again. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on this channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.